So let's find the area of a few triangles. And in particular, in this video, we're going to find the area of right triangles. There's actually not much of a difference between right triangles and any other triangle. The actual only difference is that it's easier to identify the base and the height in a right triangle. So let's do a few examples. So here we have a triangle that has this would call this a height of 4 and a base of 6. The reason being is that the base and height are always perpendicular to each other. And so to find the area of this triangle, all you have to do is write the formula, which is on the reference sheet, that says the area is half of the base times the height. So the area is 1/2 times the base times the height. From there, if I know that the base is 6 and the height is 4, I just rewrite the formula, which 1/2 of the base, which is 6, so I'm going to replace it with a 6, and the height, which is 4, so I'm going to replace it with a 4. And so the best order to do this is to understand that half is really just dividing by 2, or taking half is dividing by 2. So if I take half of 6, that's really 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So 6 divided by 2 is 3 times 4, and then 3 times 4 is 12. There's some people that would have multiplied 6 by 4 first to get 24, and then taken half of that and taken half of 24, which is still 12, because 24 divided by 2 is 12. But either way it goes, taking half is dividing by 2, so the base times the height, and half of that will give you 12. So my answer is 12, and this will be 12 units squared. So here's another one. What's the area of this triangle? Again, my formula does not change when I'm dealing with a right triangle, no matter how it looks and what shape it's in. So my formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 of the base times the height. So I need a base and a height. So I know that the base and height have to be perpendicular to each other. That means they're going to be connected by a right angle. Well, this 17 is not involved in that at all. So we're going to say that the base is 8 and the height is 15. If you change the order of those two, it wouldn't make a difference in the math. But again, it's half times the base, which is 8, times the height, which is 15. And so if I take half of the base, half of 8 is 4 times 15. And 4 times 15, or 15 times 4, those mean the same thing. So 15 times 4 would be 60. So my area for this shape is 60 units. So here's another one. What is the area of this right triangle? So again, I know that the formula as the area is half of the base times the height. I know that the base and height will be connected by a right angle. And so half of the base, which in this case is 12, and the height is going to be 5. So half of 12 times 5. And so I'm going to take half of 12, which is 6, and bring down the 5. So 6 times 5, and 6 times 5 gives you 30. So the area of this triangle is 30 units square. And so we'll do one more. What is the area of this triangle? Again, my formula does not change. Half of the base times the height. And by now, you should kind of be trying to take this over. And you should go ahead and even pause the video and see if you can do this for yourself. Once you recognize that the base and height have to be connected by the right angle, that means 12.8 is not an important factor here. So half of the base, which is 10, and the height, which is 8. So half of 10 times 8. And this time, this is the last one. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that you could have multiplied 10 by 8 first and bring down the half, because the order doesn't matter if you're doing all multiplication. So if I bring down the half and then do 10 times 8, that would be 80. So now I'm going to take half of 80. And half of 80, again, means 80 divided by 2. And 80 divided by 2 is 40. So either way it goes, my area will be 40 units squared. So as you can see, finding the area of a right triangle does not get any harder. You write the formula that you do have on the reference sheet that says the area is half of the base times the height. You find the base, you find the height, you multiply all three numbers in whatever order is easiest for you. Sometimes it's easier to take half of one of the numbers first and then multiply by the third, or you can multiply the base and height first and then take half of that, and we know that taking half is dividing by 2. If you have any other issues, reach out to me. Let's get it done.